guys, I hope everyone's day is going well. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a review on the Vosun Eragon. This is one of their newest bimetals and it comes at a little bit more of a premium price than their normal yo-yos. I'm super excited to be doing this review on this awesome yo-yo, so without further ado, let's jump right in. As usual, I gotta give a quick shout out to Vosun. All of their links and contact information will be in the description down below. They sent me this yo for free without even telling me, and so I really have to thank them for their generosity and for making this entire video possible. As usual with any of my reviews, we're gonna first look over the specs of the Eragon and then we'll jump into how the yo actually plays, and then I'll sum it up with a conclusion. But first things first, here are the specs. Alright, so as you can see from the specs, this yo isn't like super irregular in any one dimension. I guess you could argue that the width is a little bit more on the wide side for most yo-yos in this day and age, but then again, a lot of yo-yos these days are coming in at wider widths. So this yo isn't like crazy irregular in any one of the dimensions. Now we can just take a look at the design of the yo. So this is a bimetal right here. It's a really nice looking bimetal. The color of the kind of like silver and gold is one of my favorite color combinations, so that looks sweet. We've got a matte finish all around the yo with the silver, and then the rims themselves have a glossy, shiny finish. So that's why this yo looks sick. Now moving on over to the profile and the shape, we've got a very competition-oriented classic V shape right here. So we've seen this kind of shape a million times, but there's some finite details that I actually want to go over. So first things first, you can see we've got kind of a couple little like subtle cuts, then one pretty like decent cut down to some very low walls in the middle. You guys know I love my wide yo-yos, and this yo-yo is definitely no exception. So I'm already in love with a shape like this. I'm a big fan of how this looks. I actually would say that this shape is fairly similar to the Yo-Yo Friends Peregrine. It honestly reminds me a lot of it, where it's just very wide but very competition oriented and has that very sharp V shape. However, it's important to note that the rims of this yo really aren't too sharp. I mean, they're definitely more like kind of angled off right there, but they're not like sharp that they're gonna cut your hand, so don't worry about that. Alright, and so now we can take a look on over to the cup. We've got a really nice like basic competition oriented cup again. We see that the rim actually does go all the way over the yo-yo, so it kind of flaps over the edge, which is nice because it means that the rim weight is definitely gonna have a large presence in the weight distribution of the yo-yo. We lead down with a couple of cuts to a flat center in which there is this kind of cool Eragon engraving. It's important to note that this engraving is scratchy, so it's not going to be the greatest for finger spins, but the design and artwork actually does look pretty sick. Okay, what you guys were all waiting for, how does yo actually even play on the string? First impressions, this is a super solid yo. It's definitely going to be competition oriented. It already feels very solid, very rim weighted as we would expect with those giant rims right there. It is a little bit more on the heavy side, I would say. I felt like this yo on the string was a bit of a reluctant mover at first, but I think this yo also does have a decent amount of momentum. But once you do get the yo moving at a pretty fast speed, it stays at that speed for a good long while, so it does have a decent amount of momentum with it. But yeah, as I said, this yo is super solid. I mean, it's gonna feel really strong on the string. This yo comes back to your hand with a lot more spin and power than you expect, and so it definitely is very well made in that regard. When it comes down to binds and regens, this yo was pretty nice. I used some kitty fat string with this yo, and in general, I didn't run into too much trouble. Regens and binds were pretty good. I had a couple snags here and there, but maybe if I used some normal thickness kitty string, I would have a different result and it could just be perfect. But yeah, in general, response system is really nice. You're gonna be able to do some pretty sweet regens on this, and it's not too snaggy. Again, if you use maybe some thinner string than what I use, you could have a really nice time with this. Now, as for like the funness and the feel of this yo-yo, it actually is pretty nice. It makes a really nice sound when you're playing with it. I'll include some little yo ASMR right here. But yeah, as you can hear, it sounds awesome. It's got a very metallic, very kind of sharp sound to it, which is super nice for a competition yo because it just makes it that much cooler to play with. And really, this yo does have a fun feel. It's not like your like super stale, boring competition yo-yo. It definitely has more of an interesting feel to it, but it is definitely a performer, don't forget that. And as you might expect, when it comes down to grinds, the smooth finish comes in clutch. So finger grinds are super nice because the yo-yo not only spins for a very long time, but with the matte finish on the silver part of the yo-yo, you can do finger grinds for a good long while. I wouldn't really try any of the other grinds with this yo, like palm grinds or talon grinds or finger spins even, because for finger spins it's got that engraving, and then for talon grinds and palm grinds you're kind of going to be grinding on that glossy kind of sticky finish that the rims have. So just note that when it comes to grinds, this yo mostly excels in the finger grind department. Alright, so in conclusion, the Eragon is a really sweet yo-yo. It definitely comes at a higher price point than most Vosun yo-yos. Vosun is usually known for having really like very inexpensive yo-yos that have a good amount of quality to them. This is actually a $60 yo-yo from them, which is a little bit surprising, but I think this yo definitely lives up to its price point. It's a super solid competition throw. It definitely plays great on the string, and it is a little bit more on the heavy side, which for some people might be great. I would highly recommend this yo-yo to really anyone who's looking for a nice competition yo-yo that prefers more of a heavy kind of style of play, and they want a yo-yo that really spins for a nice long time and won't let them down. Alright, but that's about it for my review of the Vosun Eragon. If you guys did enjoy this review, be sure to leave a like, and also if you guys are new here and haven't seen my videos before, hit that subscribe button. I post videos about every single week. Subscribing is totally free, and you can always change your mind afterwards. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.